boys and girls, we are going to start our writing activity today. We're going to do things a little different. Can someone please raise their hand and explain to me why we did not have school on Monday? Brody.
Because it was President's Day.
Because it was President's Day. Very good. And this week, Mrs. Crawford talked to us about two very important presidents. Can someone raise their hand to tell the class what were those two presidents, Ryder?
George Washington.
Very good. George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. So I know we've learned a lot about Abraham Lincoln, and then we'll learn more about George Washington next week. But today, we're going to imagine if we were president. Would that be pretty cool?
Yeah.
That's a big job, isn't it? To be president. So we're going to listen to a story called If I Were President. And it's going to explain to us some of the jobs that come with being the president of the United States and where they live. Okay? All right, so you don't need any pencils or anything on your desk. We just need to look up here so that we can listen. And then we'll start our writing activity. For being quiet while this loads for us. Here we go. Everyone look up here, please.
Have you ever wondered what it might be like to be president? In today's story, children share their idea of what life might be like as the nation's commander-in-chief.
Okay, boys and girls, now that we are done listening to our story, I would like you to whisper to your table partner one thing that you would do if you are president. So, let's see. If you are a girl, I would like you to go first. And if you're both girls, then you can just choose. But if you're a girl, I want you to go first, and then boys, you can go after the girls. Carson, I'll be with you today since you're president. What's one thing that you would do if you were Yes, you can pick whatever you got. I'll step back down so we can get started, okay? Alright, boys and girls. 1, 2, 3. Make sure you are checked for in your seats, please. Ready to go. So that means that you're sitting in your chair, your eyes are on Miss Johnson, your feet are on the floor, and your voices are off. Very good, boys and girls. Okay, so for our writing activity today, I want everyone to look up here. No one has their sheet yet. Mrs. Johnson has, so we'll go over it first. You can get the meeting board on. All right, everyone needs to look up here. And so today, we're going to write about if I were president. And so for this writing activity, it actually got started for us because they already started the sentence.
Hey, but what do you do in the circle?
In the circle here, it says president. So you can go ahead and draw a picture of yourself and what you think you look like if you're president. So do you think if you're president, would you be pretty happy about that? Yeah. So that's pretty exciting. So boys and girls, we're going to work on writing 2 sentences about things you would do if you were president. So remember, when we write sentences, what do they always start with? Capital letter, and what do they end with? Well, we have lowercase, yep, but what do we end our sentence with?
3
question. This is 3 because it goes, if I were president, and then it's dot, dot, dot. So that is an indication that you need to finish the sentence. That just tells you, like, it's not a complete sentence, but they want you to finish it. But when we write our sentences, do we put 3 periods?
Yeah.
One, yes. We only need 1. So we're going to write about 2 things that we would do if we were president. So boys and girls, can you raise your hand and tell me some things you would do if you were president? Emery, what would you do?
I will give the people a support. I will help them make their house, and I will give them money to buy food and buy stuff.
Oh, that's pretty good. I bet people would like that. Brody, what would you do?
I would be in the Lincoln Memorial.
You would live in the Lincoln Memorial? Ooh, I was like, that might be pretty cold. Nia, what would you do?
I like to be in this Lincoln Memorial, and I go inside. I would eat sugar.
What's your hand, please? Mia, can you repeat that, please?
I'll be in the Lincoln Memorial, and I'll have a swimming pool in there.
You have a swimming pool. So cool. Okay. Well, today we're going to write 2 sentences, and Miss Johnson's just going to show you how you can start your sentence, but I'm going to write 2. You do not have to write what Miss Johnson writes, because what I would do if I was president may be different than what you would do. So is it okay for everyone's writing to be different today?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So it already started out for us. Let's read this together. If I were president, and then after that, we're going to say, I would, and then you're going to write whatever you would like. Okay? But today, Miss Johnson's going to say, I would have a big car. That's what Miss Johnson's sentence is going to be. So, Addison, I'm going to write the word I. How do you write I?
Just an eye.
Just an I, but am I going to have a lowercase or uppercase? Uppercase. Very good. I. Then our next word is going to be would. Now I know some of you have had the word would in your guided reading books, but this one is a different one and it doesn't really follow a rule, okay? So Miss Johnson's just going to go ahead and give you this word, okay? So what would start with though? But I went what?
W.
W. So we know that it's going to start with W. And I'm going to give you the next few letters, okay? So it's O,
O.
U,
D.
L, and what's it in with? Would.
D.
Very good.
Would.
I would. And Emma, can you help me spell have? Since that's a word on our word wall. It's spell have. H, What goes after H?
Where's Carla?
A,
C.
B, E. Very good.
Where's Carla?
And can we hear the E on the end, boys and girls?
No.
No, so what is that called?
Silent.
Silent. Very good. So let's go back and read our sentence. I would have a. And how do you write A?
Just
Just an A. So easy. A. Big. Carson, how do you write big?
B-I-G.
B-I-G. Very good. B-I-G. And car.
C-A-R.
Oh, Brody, that was very good, but you forgot to raise your hand. Can someone raise their hand and help me spell
I don't
car?
know.
Chloe, can you help me spell car? C-A-R. And since my sentence is all done, what goes at the end?
Period.
Period. Very good. So, did Miss Johnson just want you to write one sentence?
No.
2. So, for your next sentence, you're just going to start it with I would, and then you're going to finish your sentence. remember, to start that off, we have a capital I, and then Miss Johnson's going to write the word would, and then you're going to finish your sentence, okay? So Miss Johnson's going to go ahead and pass out your writing papers so everyone can get a pencil out. You only need a pencil to write. And then if you would like me to put the lines for your words for your sentence so that you know where to write your words, raise your hand and we'll come around with a marker and we'll write them down for you to help you, okay? But, oh, hold on just 1 second. And then, once you are done, raise your hand so that we can read your 2 sentences for you. Now make sure when you're writing, let's go ahead and get our iPads out and also put in your headphones to listen to your quiet music so that everyone can focus on their writing today, okay? Right, so let's go ahead and get a pencil out so we can start our writing. And then while Miss Johnson is passing this out, go ahead and get your pencil and your iPads out, okay? Hello, you may go sit back at your desk, please. It'll help people focus so there's not so much noise. So that would be a good idea. You are doing a wonderful job. Yes, you may. You're doing a wonderful job. Levi, can you go get a quiet critter for your table, please? I would put it on just so everyone can focus, okay? All right, so boys and girls, if you need any help with writing your lines, make sure that you raise your hand. And then remember, we want you to sound out the words as best as you can, okay? Hello, my name is Deosha Johnson, and I'm currently a student at Fort Hays State University. Thank you for watching my mini lesson over reading and language arts that was incorporated with our President's Day unit. Before starting my lesson, I had to anticipate some behavior difficulties that I may have with my students. Some difficulties that we have been experiencing over the last few weeks are students talking out of turn or talking to their neighbors while others are talking. Some of our students get out of their chair while directions are being given or the lesson is being taught. And a lot of our students either fidget or are working on other things when they are supposed to be paying attention to the directions in the lesson that is currently being taught. So before beginning my lesson, I anticipated that if a student was talking out of turn or was talking to their neighbor, I would either go over there and gently tap them on the shoulder to ask them to be quiet, or I would just remind the students to raise their hand if they had something to say. I would also use the counting mechanism 1, 2, 3 that my cooperating teacher uses to gather the student's attention when she needs to tell them something. And then if a student would come up out of their chair or come to me or just walk around the room, I would quietly ask them just to go sit back down and wait till I was done with the lesson or giving further instructions to receive assistance, just so that doesn't distract from the lesson at hand and to get the other students off task. And I would also use the check for strategy that my cooperating teacher uses. So if we're on the floor or in their chair, it's sitting crisscross applesauce, or just in your seat on your bottom with your feet on the floor, your eyes on the speaker, and your voices off. So if I would just raise my fingers and have the number 4 up, the students would automatically know what that meant. Now, one classroom management challenge that arose once I stopped the recording that you were not able to see was that I asked the students that if they needed help writing or needed the lines to form their 2 sentences, that they were to raise their hand and that I would be walking around the classroom to help the students. Well, once they were working independently, a lot of the students just come up to you when you're working with the students and they'll tap on you, and they just don't understand that we really want them to sound out the words that they're writing and try their best on their very own, because they are trying to learn that it is okay to make mistakes, but they also are constantly coming up to us looking for guidance and reassurance. So that was definitely a difficulty that we had once I stopped the recording and we continued writing our 2 sentences on if I were president and one thing that the students were going to do. If I were able to do this lesson again, I would really like to incorporate more small group work. One idea that I thought of after my lesson was complete was that I would have each table group, we have 4 which are categorized by colors, so there's about 6 students in each group, that I would have them come up with laws that they would make for the classroom that are almost like rules for kindergarten that they would like to use, so then they could all work together and they would all write one law and then put it together kind of as a rule for that table. Because we don't always do a lot of whole group and small group work off to the side, just because we have had a lot of like noise control and that kind of difficult thing. So that is certainly something that I would try to work on, but we minimize the noise level by having the students on their iPads get out their quiet music and listen to that on their headphones while they're completing their task. But something that I definitely will work on with more units in the future is just maybe incorporating some more small group activity and movement, since we do sit a lot and then tend to just teach our lesson and give the students directions and then have it work independently. So I hope you enjoyed watching my lesson, and thank you for watching.